value of A helps us to talk about vertical stretches and vertical compressions. All right, now remember, a vertical stretch is if I were to grab the top and the bottom of the graph, like I'll show with my really terribly drawn hands here. So here, I'm grabbing here and here, with an extra finger apparently, but anyway, so I grab this graph and I'm pulling it from the top and the bottom. That is called a vertical stretch. And this occurs when the value of A is bigger than 1. Now understand, when I say the value of A, I mean really the absolute value of A. So I'm ignoring the negative that might be in front of the A. Okay? So if the absolute value of A is bigger than 1, I'm going to get some kind of vertical stretch. So say, for example, I'm looking at the function f of x equals 2x squared. The parent function for a parabola, right, usually would look like this. With a point at the vertex, then 1, and 4, and then 9. So this gray one is the parent function for my parabola. Pretend I know how to draw a parabola, okay? So there's that. Now if I'm dealing with this orange one where there's a 2x, what that's doing is that is doubling the distance between the x-axis and these anchor points. So instead of going 1 up, I instead would go 2 up from the vertex. And instead of going 4 up here, I would go 8 up. And what that does is that causes us to have what I call a diet parabola, where the parabola itself gets a bit thinner, like you can kind of see here. Now if I want a wider parabola, okay, or a vertical compression, what that's saying is that when I put my hands on the top and the bottom of the graph, I'm squishing them together. That occurs when your A value is between 0 and 1. Alright, so some kind of fraction like 1/2 or 2/3. Okay? So say, for example, I'm dealing with that 1/2. Oops, that should be an X. So what that's saying is when I move to the side by 1 unit, this distance is now halved. So instead of going up to 1, it goes up to 1/2. And instead of going up to 4, it instead only goes up to 2. And so what ends up happening is you get kind of a flattening of the parabola, if you will. You can see here with the blue one how it's a bit wider. Alright, so those are stretches and compressions. Now remember, as you stretch vertically, this parabola is going to get thinner and thinner and thinner. And the closer to 0 that your fraction gets for the compression, the wider and wider and wider it gets until it's almost like a straight line. So just remember those.